now we do move into that feature race, which will be a longer race, a 16-lap race, and here is the grid. It's a reverse grid, by the way. Jack Wilson and James Freeman on the front row. On row 2 will be Ian Crosby and Alex Hall. On row 3, Austin Greatorex and Josh Seymour. On the 4th row of the grid will be Mike Saunders and Cole Langley. On the 5th row will be Stuart McFadden and Kieran Andrelli. On the 6th row, Lee Horn and Jack Hills. On the 7th row will be Dan Blake and Sean Perks. On the 8th row, Mike Hart and Thomas King. On the 9th row, Rob Baker and Luke Cooper. On the 10th row, Martin Van Rooijevik and Rafael Drage. And the rest of them, but the race gets underway. No more time for any more. Watch out for the quick guys who were successful earlier on to come through from the back. So in towards Paddock Hill Bend then we go for Jack Wilson leading the way, and it's Ian Crosby chasing him. You wonder if those two drivers who were doing well, it sort of fell back on the last lap of the previous race, whether they were looking for a good grid position in this feature race. Car 71, James Freeman there in third. It's very busy, as you'd expect, in the reverse grid race in the mid-pack. Down towards Graham Hill Bend, they come on this first lap of the 16-lap longer race, so managing the car, the track and your tyres throughout this race, very important indeed. It's 3 wide there in the middle, heading in towards Surtees Bend. Looks like the majority have got through pretty well. 33 is in that group, that's Kieran Andrelli. Looking back with 310, Rob Baker we're on board with. The area motorsport boss, really in the battle pack here, turning his way then through Hawthorne Bend. And the cars are pretty much 3 wide in front of him. He tried to go through the middle of them though. 64 is involved in that. That's James Fremont, who is on his inside, but Fremont gets a bit sideways and slides to the inside of the circuit, and that allows Rob Baker to go through. So it is Mike Hart who Baker is chasing now. He got past Hart in the earlier race here at Stirling, so he'll be looking to replicate that move as he turns his way up the inside, up over the curve. He's sideways though, is Baker, and he's off the road. He's into the tyre wall on the inside of Stirling's Bend. We've seen that so many times in real life competition. Up across the line then to complete lap 1, it is Jack Wilson who is under threat from Ian Crosby, who's looking to the outside line. Crosby, the Harewood hill climber, trying to get past car number 29, which is Jack Wilson, who worked at Apex Nürburgring for a number of years. An experienced sim racer he is. Car 61, you look at there, is Mike Hart, the former British GT racer and successful catering man. Mike Hart is chasing 199, which is Mike Saunders, a TVR regular. He's got a very spectacular Cerberus GT car, also a very potent Ford Escort too. See there, Luke Cooper in the pack, the 2018 Castle Cooper Formula Ford champion. He is there just ahead of David Kelly, who was went well in the previous heat. Well, we can go with Kelly then. He turns his way in towards Surtees. Cooper runs out a bit wide. The Formula Ford regular then under pressure from Kelly here. The Kelly, a professional esports racer, so looking to move through the field during the course of this 16-lap feature race in the opening round of the Pro Racing Simulators and Track Session Esports Challenge, using these global MX-5 Cup cars, Mark IV Mazda MX-5s on slick tyres, 180 brake horsepower machines. Looking a bit further forward. This is the lead battle then, heading down towards Stirling's. We look back there to Ian Crosby. Crosby, who is there in 3rd position on board, then with Stuart McFadden, who has moved ahead of Crosby since we last saw them, but it is Jack Wilson that leads as they turn their way through clearways, onto Clark Curve and across the line to complete lap 2 of this 16-lap race. And challenging here is McFadden. So is he going to be able to grab the lead? The former also grass racer looks to the outside line into Paddock Hill Bend, but holding on the inside line in the lead is Jack Wilson. Can he get the car turned through on a tight enough line though to defend on the way up towards Druids? He run out wide there, so that is allowing 53. McFadden up on the inside, and he will grab the lead of the race. In 3rd position, Ian Crosby, keeping a watching brief on that move by Stuart McFadden. We've seen so many times here at Brands Hatch, set it up at Paddock and then complete the move at the Druids hairpin. Down towards Surtees then come this leading group. Meanwhile, looking further back, 31 you see there is David Williams, who had success earlier on, so he's got cars aplenty to pass, and it's side by side up ahead of him. David Williams, and I think it's in something like 15th position, is that correct? Either way, he's chasing 64 there, which is Alex Hall, and he's looking to the inside. So yes, I think this is the battle for something like 14th position. He goes up the inside of Hall and goes through. So down towards Westfield. So Alex Hall, the ex-classic stock catch racer, started towards the front of the grid, has dropped back. There's Jason Cooper chasing Pete Newman. So Cooper a winner earlier, chasing Newman up towards the right-hander there at Sheen Curve and down towards Sterling's. And on board we go with Newman in front of this battle with Jason Cooper and David Williams behind. And Cooper up the inside in towards Clearways and goes through. So Jason Cooper in the Swift Cooper liveried car goes through, but he does run out wide, and that allows Newman back through, and it allows David Williams into the battle. They could attempt to go free wide into Paddock there, but backing out of it is Williams. Cooper on the outside for Paddock. Now he gets hung out to dry there a bit, so that allows David Williams through, or does it? He has to brake early. Cooper really late on the brakes, up on the wide line into Druids, but he can't make that work. He just ran out a touch wide before they turn their way into the left-hander at Graham Hill Bend on lap 4 of this 16-lap race. Again, Cooper trying to challenge. He's on the inside line now as they turn their way in towards Surtees Bend. David Williams is going to try and follow him. So Cooper's got past Newman and Williams is trying to do the same, but the two of them will run side by side. He'll have the outside line, but he shouldn't be able to go through there. I think he had enough momentum. Meanwhile, back to the front, Stuart McFadden has got away. He's got a gap. It's Jack Wilson in second. Third is Kieran Andreley. Fourth is Sean Perks. And Mike Hart, he's fought pretty well into fifth. On board, we've got number 13 here, Austin Greytrox, who is in sixth position, just behind Mike Hart. Somebody running out a bit wider there, 61 there. There is Mike Hart in fifth position, sixth for Greytrox, because Mike Saunders has dropped back, I think, in that group. On board with Rob Baker here, car 310. So Rob Baker involved in this battle. 33 there, just up ahead is Kieran Andreley. As we turn our way into, sorry, it's 210 we're on board with, third place man Sean Perks, isn't it? So Perks we ride on board with, trying to challenge for Andreley up the inside in towards Druids, and he goes through. So a good move there to get ahead. We've lost Stuart McFadden, that's who's gone missing. He grabbed the lead earlier on. Stuart McFadden has disappeared, it appears. But Jack Wilson, it is then that regains the lead with Sean Perks, who's second place man. Kieran Andreley is third. Mike Hart coming through is in fourth. Austin Greytrox is in fifth. Sixth is Thomas King. Seventh, Mike Saunders. Eighth, Jamie Rushworth. Ninth, Rob Baker. And 10th, Ian Crosby. Good exit there, out to Surtees, and a bump in the back as we come out of that corner and charge up towards Hawthorne. So that was Crosby, I think, on the back of the car ahead of him. And it's a great battle pack heading up towards Westfield Bend with at the head of it Sean Perks. Has he grabbed the lead? I think he has. Kieran Andreley has followed him through, and Jack Wilson has dropped down into third position in car number 29. So through Sheen Curve they go, and up towards Sterling's Bend. The left-hander a bit wide. On board here with the race leader Sean Perks. So is that going to allow Kieran Andreley to come through? They're side by side as they head down towards the right-hander at Clearway. So a wide line necessitated there by Andreley. It's free abreast now because Jack Wilson's trying to come through. It could become 4 wide here too, because Mike Hart is involved in all of this as they head down towards Paddock. It is Perks who's nosing ahead, but trying to get past him on the outside line is Kieran Andreley, but up the inside comes Jack Wilson. Reverse grid race, very much picking up the drama now onto lap 6 of this race. Mike Hart we can ride on board with, a bit wide there for Wilson. I think that was no, it was Perks, wasn't it? The leader that ran a bit wide, but he hunts on to the lead, but runs out wide then on the exit of Graham Hill Bend, and and that allows Kieran Andrely through on the inside line. So a new leader is Kieran Andrely. Up to second tries to come Jack Wilson on the inside line. They're both running out wide, so that may allow Mike Hart through. Mike Hart is moving into second position. He's grabbed past both of those guys, and trying to follow him now will be Jamie Rushworth. I think that is, but they've come together underneath the bridge. There's cars involved there with Jack Wilson. I think was one of them, so that's knocked some of the cars out of that battle. It's Kieran Andrely that leads, second is Mike Hart, in third is Sean Perks as they turn their way for the right-hander at Westfield Bend. This has allowed Andrely just to get away a bit. Hart is second, third is Perks, fourth is Rushworth, I think, as they make their way towards the end of what is only lap 6 of this race. It's been very dramatic indeed, and there's still 10 further laps to go. We ride on board with 3:10. This is Rob Baker, who's there in 9th position, chasing the car of Mike Saunders. He brakes late as Baker gets right onto the rear bumper of Mike Saunders. As this pack of cars head through Clark Curb, and Baker on the inside is going through ahead of Saunders for what is now appears to be 5th position. So it's Mike Hart that leads the way now, so he's got ahead of Sean Perks. In third is Jamie Rushworth, fourth is Austin Greytrox, in fifth is Rob Baker, sixth is Mike Saunders, in seventh David Williams, eighth is Jason Cooper, so 2 drivers successful earlier, up to 7th and 8th, ninth is Pete Harrod, and 10th is Alex Hall. In this dramatic feature race of round 1 of the PRS Esports Challenge with Track Obsession. So down in towards 30s. This is the leader, Mike Hart, car number 61. In second is 210, which is Sean Perks. And up to third has come Jamie Rushworth, who raced so well earlier. There in third, he's trying to make that second though. He's got a run on Sean Perks. He's side by side with him, heading on the outside line in towards the right-hander there at Hawthorne. Goes right round the outside as Jamie Rushworth, and he gets second. So what can he do about Mike Hart? That's his next challenge. We've got something like 8 cars in this leading group, I reckon. Saw there 31, which is David Williams. He's there in his 6th position as he comes out of Sheen Curb and down towards Stirling's. He's chasing Rob Baker, who is in 5th. In front of the pair of them is Austin Greytrex in car number 13. Third is Sean Perks, second Jamie Rushworth, and the leader is Mike Hart. Into clearways they come. They're about to complete lap 7 of this race and go on to the half-distance lap. And the leader, Mike Hart, is for the pit lane. So a problem for the leading car, Mike Hart. He's out of contention now. So it's Jamie Rushworth that picks up the lead. So car number 3, Rushworth leads into paddock. Second is 210, Sean Perks. Third is number 13, Austin Greatorex. Fourth is car 310, Rob Baker. Fifth is 31, David Williams. Sixth is number 12, which is Spencer Peacock. In 7th is 199, Mike Saunders. 8th is number 18, Pete Harrod. 9th is number 64, which is Alex Hall. And 10th is number 29, which is Dan Blake. Number 30, sorry, Dan Blake. Up towards Druid's hairpin we go, looking at car number 64 there. That is Alex Hall, who is in 9th position, just ahead of Dan Blake as they make their way in towards Graham Hill Bend. Out over the curb they come, looking to the defending to the inside line is Alex Hall, and it almost looked like he'd been letting Dan Blake through there, perhaps realising Blake slightly quicker, and he goes ahead. Jason Cooper here up the inside of Austin Greatorex to go 5th. So Cooper to 5th position now then, after starting way back on 29th on the grid after winning his heat. David Williams, who is second in Heat 1, is up to 4th. So both Williams, and he's up to 3rd now because he's trying to go past Rob Baker in front of this battle then, and he has done so. So David Williams, he started back on 28th on the grid on row 14, is into 3rd. So fantastic progress from Rushworth, Williams and Cooper, all in this lead group, starting right near the back of the pack. Jamie Rushworth is getting away though. He's made a bit of a gap over Sean Perks. 3rd, we're looking here at David Williams, who has got Rob Baker and Jason Cooper behind. Cooper's got a good run here on Baker, so can he go through as they head into paddock? We ride on board with Jason Cooper, the former Castle Coombs Saloon Car champion, the former Ford Fiesta champion with the BRSCC, chasing successful 750 Motor Club racer Rob Baker, a multiple race winner last season in the Club Enduro Championship in one of his hotly modified Honda Civics, along with Cole Swift, and before that a champion in the Civic Cup, Rob Baker with the BRSCC. So Baker and Cooper nose to tail, 4th and 5th positions as they make their way up in towards Surtees, the left-handed corner that brings us on to the Grand Prix loop on lap 9 of the race. We're into the second half of this race now. We look here at car number 33, which it is Kieran Anderley, who's dropped back a bit since we last saw him. He's back in 16th place, just chasing after Pete Newman. Back to Jason Cooper, though, because he moves ahead there of Rob Baker. So Cooper into 4th, ahead of Baker. We look back there at Baker, who himself has made pretty good progress, but a much better progress for Jason Cooper. And he is now going to go after David Williams, who's trying to get past Sean Perks. So Williams will be keen to do that before Cooper catches him. Out to Surtees they go, up towards Clearways. Looking to the outside here, Williams, as he tries to go right round the outside of Sean Perks for 2nd place. He can't quite do that, but he can get the cut back on the inside line for Clark Curve. Through goes David Williams into 2nd place. We got 2nd in his heat, did the sim racing coach. Car number 31, David Williams, ahead of 210, Sean Perks, the student who's been racing on IMON for the past 7 months. And is doing a good job here in the feature race of this MX5 PRS Esports Challenge with Track Obsession. So leader there is Jamie Rushworth, car number 3, the IT technician, who has over a decade of sim racing experience and has been put to good use in this race to charge his way through the field from 26th on the grid to lead. But now he's got David Williams behind, who set a better lap in this race. Will be trying to catch that 1.2 second margin. For 3rd, Sean Perks will have Jason Cooper hotly on his tail now. Cooper, who won Heat 2 of the evening, there with Sean Perks as they turn their way through Hawthorne Bend, out over the curbs on the exit of the corner. Not far behind them is Rob Baker. There's a much bigger gap to the rest. Out of Westfield they go, and up towards Sheen Curve they go. There's 210, a big dent in the side by the looks of it, of Rob Baker's car. Won't be an MX5 race without dents on the body panels of these cars. And they make their way out then of Sterling's, and Sean Perks is losing the position. Jason Cooper gets the better exit to that corner, and he goes through into Clearways. So Cooper to 3rd, ahead of Sean Perks now, and Perks will be looking back to try and hold Rob Baker at bay, who is the next driver in the queue as they complete 10 laps of this Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. That means there's 6 further laps to go. Jamie Rushworth is leading, 2nd is David Williams, 3rd is Jason Cooper, 4th is Sean Perks, 5th is Rob Baker, 6th is Jason Greatorex, 7th is Mike Saunders, 8th Pete Harrod, 9th is Luke Bennett, and 10th is Dan Blake. Very wide there, out of Granville Bend for the race leader, Jamie Rushworth. On that latest lap, David Williams caught him by something like 3/4 of a second, so the gap has been halved by car number 31, David Williams, as he chases Jamie Rushworth out of Surtees Bend and down the straight they go, down Pilgrim's Drop and into Hawthorne Bend they go. Jason Cooper will be looking to chase them here, be keen for Jamie Rushworth to keep David Williams at bay, because we know Williams and Cooper are 2 of the quickest drivers in this race. Through Westfield Bend they go, and up towards Sheen Curve, feeling the need to just place his car in the middle of the road there, Jamie Rushworth. He knows Williams has got the pace. He's looking to challenge into Sterling's. He can't do that there, but we've seen drivers get a much better exit to this corner and try to challenge on the run up towards Clearways. He gets closer and closer to him. He looks to the inside, but no, he backs out of that, does Williams, as they turn right through Clearways. Now, has he got the run on Rushworth? Can he challenge into Paddock? He's getting closer and closer to him. He's right in the slipstream. He pulls out to the right-hand line of the circuit, which will give him the inside line for Paddock Hill Bend, and he goes through. So up the inside into Paddock for David Williams, but he's going to run a bit wide. Can he get back across in front of Jamie Rushworth? He can, so he can get back across. He can defend into Druids, therefore, which means he should hang on to the lead. So from 28th to 1st, for David Williams in this reverse grid feature race of the Pro Racing Simulators. Host for this event, Simulator Racing Outlet and Track Session, Track Day provider with free tuition, advice and photography, Esports Challenge. This is the feature race of round 1 here on the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. It's Williams that leads, Rushworth is second, Jason Cooper not really bringing the gap down to them, and then we've got Sean Perks and Rob Baker, the two drivers with similar numbers, in 4th and 5th, 210 ahead of 310. Into the right-hander there at Hawthorne Bend, just clipping the inside curb in is Baker, who we are on board with as we turn our way right into Westfield Bend and out over the curves on the exit of the corner, over the bump that who's on the exit of Westfield, then through Dingledale up towards Sheen Curve, and now on the run down towards Stirling. It's a mistake though out of Sheen for Perks. He put a wheel on the grass there, and that is not going to give Rob Baker enough of a chance actually to get through. I thought it might have done, but he needs to defend as they come up towards the right-hander at Clearways, and just drifting a bit wide there, Perks. So is that going to give Baker the chance to be on the inside line on the run up towards Paddock? So Baker trying to go for 4th here onto lap 13 into Paddock Hill Bend, and he goes through then and grabs that position. So it is 4th position now for Baker, down to 5th for Sean Perks. Up towards Druids Hairpin now they go. Looking to the outside is Perks, and Baker hanging on after that nice move that really started all the way back at Sheen Curve and was completed when they got to Paddock. It's a real momentum circuit, particularly in these cars, in Brands Hatch. You have to set a move up a number of corners before you actually make the move. I think there was a mistake there from Rob Baker at Graham Hill Bend, and that has allowed Sean Perks back through on the inside line into Surtees, but then he drifts wide, so Baker comes back alongside him, and he goes back through, I think, into 4th place. And he does, so it's Rob Baker 4th in 310 ahead of Sean Perks. Here's the battle for 2nd. Jamie Rushworth has been caught by Jason Cooper, so car number 3 ahead of 35 here. They're about a second away from race leader David Williams. There's 3 further laps to go at the end of this one. Through Sheen Curve they turn then down towards Stirling, the left-hand banked corner. All over the curb, perhaps a bit too wide for Jamie Rushworth. But we look back here at car 18, I think that is, Pete Harrod. He then turns his way through. They've got Luke Bennett, car number 15, just behind Harrod. Then Dan Blake is a bit of a gap behind, so it's a back marker that is at the back of this queue. Up the inside, there comes Luke Bennett, and he tries to gain a position. Remember, he won the opening heat of the event, did Luke Bennett, and he is now in 8th position after passing Pete Harrod there, which we saw. And the back marker actually gets between them. Who is that? That's number 10, Thomas King, car number 10. A lap down, but good pace, seemingly. Change for 2nd. Jason Cooper has made it through ahead of Jamie Rushworth. So Cooper just 2nd. On to lap 14, 2.5 laps to go. He's only at 1.25 seconds behind David Williams. Is that enough time to catch? Well, I'm sure Jason Cooper will give it a good shot. Both Williams and Cooper looking to score the most points out of this opening round. 2nd in his heat for Williams, looking to win the feature race. 2nd in the feature race. Cooper won his heat. Jamie Rushworth is 3rd, Rob Baker 4th, 5th is Sean Perks, and 6th is car number 13, which is Austin Greatorex. Here's 2nd and 3rd making their way through Sheen Curve, and down towards Sterling. Cooper not really getting away from Rushworth. Now he's got ahead. Rushworth keeping in the toe, keeping in the slipstream to give him that bit more momentum perhaps to allow him to keep with Jason Cooper. Multiple former circuit champion. Cooper ahead of Rushworth, who's had over a decade of sim racing experience, so an early adopter to sim racing. Looking a bit further back, in 15th position, Jack McIntyre, battling away there with car number 33, which is Kieran Andrely. And he's just ahead is McIntyre, who had a good heat, but trying to get through the field in the feature race hasn't been quite so successful for car number 37, Jack McIntyre, driver who's got 15 years of sim racing experience, another early adopter of this discipline. On to the penultimate lap of the race for the leaders, so lap 15 of the 16, and it is Jason Cooper there in second. And he's not really getting away from Jamie Rushworth, so Rushworth very much able to keep with Cooper. They've dropped the car of Baker well and truly, who in turn is pulling away from Sean Perk. So in this feature race, drivers who safely made their way through the order and who clearly have strong pace. Williams, Cooper, Rushworth up in those podium positions. Now, is Rushworth going to try and re-challenge Jason Cooper? He was very close heading there into Westfield Bend. And then up towards Sheen they go. And out of there they come. I think Cooper will not be able to catch Williams, so full focus on holding second place, because we've seen the pace that Jamie Rushworth's got, although Rushworth runs wide there at Sterling. That zaps his momentum and allows Cooper just to put a couple of car lengths between himself and the chaser. So now Jason Cooper, and again wide there, out of clearways for Rushworth, so a couple of slightly scrappy corners has just opened the gap up between second and third as we start the final lap of this opening day of racing in the Pro Racing Simulators and Track Obsession Esports Challenge. So up towards Druids we go, on board with Jason Cooper. Lots of lock on to get through the tight hairpin then we dive downhill in towards Graham Hill Bend, up over the curve on the inside. Track limits on the exit, as we've seen all day long, and then down towards Surtees. Late apex corner, try and carry as much momentum up the hill, up the rise, before the long straight through the kink they go, and then up to Pilgrims, or down Pilgrims drop they go. And Cooper had a very good exit there to Surtees with full focus on chasing the leader, David Williams. But Williams looks good here, the design engineer and sim racing coach then leading the way, minimising errors. Now on this last lap he's got this second margin, so no need to just keep on the road, no need to make any mistakes. Up over the curb on the inside of Sheen, and then down towards Sterling. So a great opening laps it was from David Williams that really won him this race, getting through the field safely. Remember, he started in 28th on the grid after finishing second in the opening heat of the day. David Williams then turns his way through clearways, and he will be the first feature race winner in the new Racing League on iRacing, or for the PRS Esports Challenge with Track Obsession. It's car number 31, David Williams, that wins. Second is Jason Cooper, and third is Jamie Rushworth. And the three of them separated by just a couple of seconds after nearly half an hour of racing. In fourth is Rob Baker, so he comes across the line in fourth. We appear to have lost Sean Perks. So in fifth is Greater X, sixth is Saunders, seventh is Bennett, then Harrod, Blake, and it's Stuart McFadden who should complete the top 10. He's a bit further back in 10th. So 10th position should be McFadden. Behind him is Jack Hills, Alex Hall, Peter Newman, Jack McIntyre and Kieran Andrely. And it's the top 15, I believe, who score points from this feature race. There's Alex Hall, car number 64, crossing the line in what is 12th position. When he started near the front, but Alex Hall kept his nose clean there and got a point-scoring finish. Pete Newman behind him in 13th, Jack McIntyre 14th, and Kieran Andrely in 15th. Mike Hart, who led that race early on, finished down in 16th position, just ahead of Luke Cooper. And then Connor Mills, Legend Racer, in 18th. So that concludes the racing in this opening event from the PRS Esports Challenge with Track Obsession. Entertaining reverse grid race as we came to expect might happen, as the fast guys had to work their way through the order. And we will bring the results to you of our final event of the day, after the 2 heats, and then this exciting feature race final one. There in great fashion by David Williams by 1.3 seconds over Jason Cooper, who was second. Third was Jamie Rushworth, who led through the middle part of the race. Fourth was Rob Baker. Fifth was Austin Greatorex. In sixth was Mike Saunders. Seventh for Luke Bennett. In eighth was Pete Harrod. In ninth position was Dan Blake. 10th was Stuart McFadden. 11th was Jack Hills. 12th was Alex Hall. In 13th was Pete Newman. 14th for Jack McIntyre. 15th for Kieran Andrely. 16th for Mike Hart. 17th for Luke Cooper. And 18th for Connor Mills. Looking further back, in 19th was James Fremont. In 20th was Bradley Burns. 21st was Josh Seymour. 23rd, Sean Perks. In 23rd was Thomas King. 24th, Martin van Rooijerk. 25th was Lee Horn. Looks like remaining drivers did not finish. Many laps down. Ian Crosby, Jack Wilson and David Kelly. And of course, David Kelly's success early on. But that concludes our running of our opening round of the PRS Esports Racing Challenge with Track Obsession. And important opening meeting with some of the quick guys from the heats having struggles in the feature race. But we have 2 further point scoring rounds of this challenge, which next Saturday will come up at Alton Park at the same time, 8 p.m. before Donington Park. And as I said at the beginning of the show, the finale will happen at Spa-Francorchamps on the 9th of May. The top 15 runners from the championship element of the series will race against 15 professional racers, including British touring car stars Adam Morgan and Mike Epps, among a number of others. Keep an eye on our event runners' Facebook pages for updates ahead of Alton Park next week. Pro Racing Simulators, who are the host of the event, the simulator retail outlet where you can customise your rig, a plug-and-play setup. ProRacingSimulators.co.uk to find out more there. Track Obsession are an all-inclusive track day provider which offer free tuition, setup advice and photography at all circuits throughout the UK, and provide a Clio 197 Cup car if you need to rent a car. You can find out more about them on trackobsession.co.uk. So thanks to both PRS and Track Obsession for this event, and we will join you at the same time, 8 p.m. next week at Alton Park.